I've just thought about something, Debbie. After looking at that letter that I've sent you an extract from, it says that I accused Chris of being a sex offender online. What's really interesting there is, even on that Twitter profile that I made, the fake Twitter profile, at no point did I accuse him of being a sex offender. I'm pretty sure that I referred to him as having abused women. And I didn't even say sexually. I don't think so anyway. But I never outright called him a sex offender. I never outright said that he raped his producer. So that's really, really interesting. I think what Chris is trying to do is he's just throwing everything at the wall because he's scared. Anything you've ever posted, anything I've ever posted, he's just like, well, it's been posted, because he's telling the police because he's desperate to have it taken down, you see. No, the police aren't blaming you for the Twitter stuff. So that's what I'm saying. He's deliberately trying to lump it all together to make it confusing and to get people to argue and point fingers. The police told me off for the Twitter stuff. The police suspect that you're involved, not because of the Twitter stuff, but because of the stuff that you posted on LinkedIn. And for some reason, the LinkedIn and the Twitter stuff isn't mentioned in that little paragraph there. Like, have I explained that clearly enough? Okay, so the fake profile, I made it and I said I acted alone, but they suspect that you're involved because they've obviously seen the posts that you've been making on Twitter and LinkedIn over a long period of time. And Chris has obviously made allegations against both of us for stalking and harassment. So they dropped all of that against me, so they have to do the same against you. They'll probably just like give you a slap on the wrist and tell you not to post his name online again, um but even then, like you said, where do we draw the line? Because at the end of the day, there's like making a disclosure in the public interest, and he is a dangerous person who keeps getting away with crimes. So it's a tricky one. And yeah, I can totally believe that he stole Gabriel's phone because that is awfully suspicious timing. I guess like off the back of the work investigation and you and I sharing information, he probably eventually clicked, hey, there must be a reason how Debbie knows so much, and I guess he probably looked for Gabriel's phone, which is disgusting and a violation of his privacy and illegal in itself. Although he would argue that Gabriel's a minor.
I'm telling you now, he nicked Gabriel's phone and went through Gabriel's phone. I'm telling you now. It's too much of a coincidence. It's not like him. He's not that kind of kid. In all the years that he's had a phone, I think he's lost his phone like 3 times. And like the first 2 times is because like it had fallen down the side of the bed when he fell asleep, like holding his phone or something. Yeah. Just a bit fishy there. I reckon he stole Gabriel's phone and went through it. But that's what he does. He nicks stuff. He nicks stuff. He nicks the passports out of my room. So he nicked the marriage license out of my room. I still want to know why he stole the marriage license. The only reason why he would need our marriage license is if he was getting a life insurance policy or he was getting married to someone else. So I'm going to get the lawyer to find out whether he did get married or whether there is a life insurance policy out on me, because I never ever found our marriage license. It went missing in 2018. That's the thing. I couldn't find it for all those years, and then because I'm trying to reapply for my passport, I'm just waiting until I can get a printer to print out the application forms, and then have like the 200 to get my new passport, because then I can get it in my maiden name, because my passport's still in his name. I was about to change it into Martin's name, and then he left, so I thought, well, what's the point? So so I had to apply for a new marriage license just like a few months ago, so that I could get my new passport, because our marriage license completely vanished, and I keep all my important documents in the one box, and the boys' birth certificates and passports and that were all in that box, and he went into my room after he got me locked up and he nixed them, so I can actually have him done for breaking and entering. I know under British law, because the police told me when I was being stalked in Birmingham, like when I first moved here, they said if someone comes to your house and so much as puts their hand through your door without being invited to do so, that's considered breaking and entering. So, and he wasn't invited into my room. It's his house, but it was my room. I was working, cooking and cleaning and that to pay for my room and board. So I was considered kind of like staff. And so he went into my room. He also took my duvet cover and threw it in the bin without my permission, which is theft and destruction of private property. So, the list is growing on him. So, yeah, I reckon he nicked Gabriel's phone. Yeah, well, I mean, it's like I said to them when they came to the house, everything that I post about him, I've been putting online, and I was never ever told that what I was saying was wrong, because, like, I'm allowed to whistle blow. I'm allowed to whistle blow. It's not against the law for me to whistle blow. I'm protected. You and I both know that. So I haven't done anything illegal. I am determined to bring justice for what he has done, because I know that the police ignored all my evidence. So he is a sex offender. Well, I call him a sexual predator. It's people in his good. He's a sexual predator. He preys on women. And then there's also the stuff that's put up about him on that dating website and stuff like that. Women warning other women about him and all that sort of thing. So, he's a sexual predator, and I have the right to warn people. Like, I'm fully prepared. I've known since day one, I'm fully prepared to deal with the consequences of what I'm doing, because I know that eventually one of those police officers was going to believe me and follow it up and do the right thing and bring justice to it, risking my freedom once again to call foul to an injustice that man is getting away with. And if I have to go to court, I mean, the thing is, if I've done something illegal, I have to go to court. So when I go to court, because like that Lauren Wright, PC Lauren Wright, she said that she can only talk about these charges that he's claiming against me. Well, in her, she said that she can't talk about the other stuff, that it's got nothing to do with this case. But in that very piece of paper right there, it says being accused of being a sex offender. So I can use her lawyer that I'm being given to fight my case. So all I need is for this to go to court, because I know once I get up on that stand, because of what your thing has just said now, she said it's got nothing to do with that, but in her own statement there, clearly it does. So my lawyer, when I sit down with them next Monday, I'll go through it all. I'll show them everything, and I'll say, the police know what I've been posting because I send them links. And at no point have the West Yorkshire Police come to me and said, don't do it. What they said was, be careful what you post. No doxing, basically, I think is what it's called. Is that it? Like, don't post like his license plate or like his phone number and that sort of thing, and all the stuff that I've gotten about him, like his Etsy and his YouTube, is all public knowledge. It's just all information that I gathered while doing my investigation. So if they want to charge me with anything, they can charge me, but I would be seeing that as God's way of saying, there you go, now open your mouth and bring that evil man down. So either way, he's just handed me the gun. And when I get in there to talk to that lawyer, I'll be pulling the trigger and blowing his brains out, guaranteed. And I'll be taking Sumo down with them, because by all the stuff that you've just posted now, they were stalking me long before I knew they were. It sounds like they've been stalking me pretty much since the June. And the thing is, I didn't email them until like the August. So they were stalking me pretty much from day one. And that's like in their own admissions and stuff now. So they were stalking me long before Gabriel told me they were, long before I knew they were. So now when I get to the lawyer, I'll say, can I please sue them for online harassment and stalking? And from that report, defamation of character. So, you know, give me the lawyer, whatever they want to charge me with, like, bring it on. I will gladly take the charge if it means that I can bring media attention to what they are getting away with. If I have to go to prison, I'll Julian Assange it, man, because that means my hero. I'll go down for everyone if it means the second I get on that stand, the whole world gets to know what Sumo Digital and Christopher Black have done and tried to get away with, because it's unacceptable. They're allowing my children to get abused, because he would rather them be miserable than be with the one person that loves them more than anything in the world, that has risked everything to get them away from that man. He hates me so much, he would rather hurt his own children to punish me rather than just walk away with, you know, what little shred of dignity he's going to have left by the end of it if he does it all. He could have just walked away, become a painter or something, and just let me and my boys go off and do it. But he hates me so much for leaving him and refusing to have sex with him when I was in love with another man, that he did all of this to punish me. That's how evil he is. And, you know, I've had nearly 2 years away from my boys. So if I've got to do 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is, I'll do it, because I know once they turn 16, the first thing they're going to do is come running to me anyway. And there's nothing any court in the land can do about it. And then we'll get on a plane and we'll go to New Zealand or America or whatever. But I know how this ends, and I'm not afraid, because somebody has to do something to get my children back to me, where I can look after them, where my man and I can look after them and give them the life that they deserve, and hold him and Sumo responsible for everything that they've done. I've got to be the one to make the sacrifice. It has to be me, because I've already lost everything. You know, you've got so much to lose. So, you know, whatever. I have faith in God. He's put me through this for a reason. And I'm not afraid, because God said, have faith in me. And I said, yes, Lord. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, you know, because she's mentioned that about the sex offender thing, I can bring it up to the lawyer and take it to court there. Because she said I wouldn't be able, like, she basically implied, like, she sort of said, like, that's not our jurisdiction, but because she's mentioned it in that thing there, she's made it my right to defend myself. The other thing is, I had my freedom taken from me. I had my children taken from me, and at no point were any of the allegations that were made against me investigated by the police. At no point. there was no investigation done. I was denied the right to an investigation. I was denied my civil liberties. I had the right under British law to have an investigation for the police to look in all the claims that I was making against Chris when I got locked up. The only lawyer I was ever given was to fight for me to get let out. But they decided that Indigenous was against the law. And I'm going to bring Michelle, the nurse Michelle, I'm going to put her on the stand, and I'm going to say, do you remember the fight we had just before the tribunal where I was screaming and saying, this is a race hate crime. You can't discriminate against me because of my Indigenous. And I said to her, when I get out of here, I'm going to hold every single one of you responsible for this. And she was incredible, I gotta say. I could tell with her that she wanted to protect me more than she was allowed to. It's like she was trying to keep her distance, but letting me know, like, be strong, I'm in this with you. Like, I'm not the bad guy here. And I remember when we had the first lockdown, I felt so sorry for her because she was absolutely run off her feet. She was supposed to be taking time off and she wouldn't leave the hospital. And she was on the phone begging people. She was like nearly in tears, begging for extra help because they weren't coping. So we had a meeting and I said to all of the girls, please only go to the nurses when there's an emergency because they are understaffed. Some of them have been tested positive and had to go home and they're understaffed, and Michelle is running off her feet. She, like, lay off them and only go to them when it's necessary. And everybody did. Everyone was chill. I was like, we can all go to each other. If you need anything that isn't an emergency, come to one of us, sort of thing. And kind of that's what we did. But I had to sit in front of a judge and defend my Indigenous, knowing that at no point had one single police officer done their civic duty and uphold the law and the oath that they took to investigate all and every crime, because they didn't do that. And that's like I know in America it would be called like denied my civil liberties. I don't know what it would be called here, but I was denied my civil liberties. So, when this goes to court, it's like that lawyer said, the one that I spoke to, when I first got out, she said, we're too small to take you on. You're going to need a big firm. But she said, I guarantee you're going to win this. She said, it's going to be the trial of the century. She said, but you need someone from like London or Birmingham or Newcastle, I think, yeah. And she said, she said, like, this is going to be the trial of the century. And she said, when you get on that stand, she said, it's going to be like a media hellstorm. She said, because like the amount of people that you're going to be taking on over this, she said it's going to be monumental. So I've always known from day one going into this, long before I ever knew you existed, girl, that there was a bigger purpose, that I had people out there, people like Michelle, like Jodie and Sally Ann and Rachel, and like Rachel, really, God, Rachel, one of the patients, she really risked a lot to bring attention to the police, because it was Rachel that let me know that what he had done to me was sexual assault. And I said, oh no, but he didn't rape me. And she said, it doesn't matter if it's done without your consent, it's against the law, it's called historical sexual assault, and you need to file a complaint. And she was the one, because I'd had my phone taken off me, because they'd taken I was without a phone for like a few months, a couple of months. I had to beg to, be able to check your email to see if I'd heard back from a lawyer that the New Zealand High Commission had recommended that I use to, get help. But I got my phone back just before I got let out, pretty much. But yeah, she risked everything. She used her phone to file the thing, and when the police came to the hospital, the doctors turned them away. And then the police came back, and then that's when I got the ball rolling. Because of Rachel. So, I had a lot of support in there. I can't say that this experience has been bad for me, because there were so many little rays and pockets of light out there letting me know, don't give up. Like Moses and Patrick and that, all the African staff, because they were Christians and Baptists and that, God-fearing people, they, we'd talk about scriptures and they'd pray with me and that sort of thing. I had people in there who were helping me breathe until I could get my head out of there and take a breath of fresh air. They wanted to walk me like a dog, where I had 2 people escorting me, where I was allowed like a whole half an hour outside, and I was like, piss off, I'm not a dog. So yeah, I was defiant. So I'm strong now. If I can survive that, prison would be nothing for me. I'd be healing them all, because that's what I did with them all in there. I made all of their nightmares go away. I went out and picked things in the garden to make posies to put under their pillows, and I made all their bad dreams and nightmares go away. Some of them stopped even needing sleeping tablets, because I'd made the voices in their rooms go away, because they thought they were being haunted. But because I'm an occult scientist, and that's what I keep saying to the girls, I was brought in here for a reason. I was brought in here to heal some of those girls, and I was brought in there to fix the frequency and balance of that ward, and I was there to witness the inhumane abuses that go on in there, especially towards people of colour, Indigenous people and people of colour. And I can't forget the cafeteria cleaning staff who were sneaking me bags of fruit, holding fruit aside for me, just so that I could have something to eat on the days where I wasn't given any food. And I was going up to 5 days straight without any food. So when my kidneys started packing up and I was riddled with infection and that, it was because of the staff, and because BJ was sending me kebabs. And Janet had a go at me for her sending me a kebab. I was shaking. I was about to pass out in front of her, and she was screaming at me, "Why are you taking money off her? I hope you're going to pay her back." And I said to her, because I haven't eaten in 3 days. "Well, don't do it again." Me. So, yeah. But I just took it, walked back to my room, and I walked into the thing. I sat there and I ate it. And then I walked out with my head held high, and I just thought, wait till I get out of here, man. Because then when I get my phone back, I'm going to start my investigation, and I'm going to sing like a friggin' canary.
I've listened to the first part of your voice note and I've just paused it, and I'm going to go back and listen to the rest. I was just thinking something about what Luke said to me the other day, is you're absolutely right. Right, horrible things have happened to you, horrible things have happened to myself, right? And nobody's taken that seriously. And the second that Chris said that he was being harassed online, there have been 2 police investigations, one against you, one against me. So in my case, like, but you know, like you said, like, I've not lost everything yet, but you have. So it's like, why have they never looked into that? And what you could do is, you could, when you chat to the police, say that you want to involve the was it the New Zealand embassy, because technically you have dual citizenship, and a huge part of this is that you have been discriminated against and belittled and laughed at because you're from New Zealand, because of your Indigenous roots and your cultural beliefs. So I really think the New Zealand embassy should know about this, and they might have your back and help you through this. It's like, yeah, sure, you've lived in the UK for a long time, and you married a man from the UK, but you're still from New Zealand. Like, your country still loves you, and your country still has to help you protect your rights, especially if you're living in a foreign country and they are not respecting your rights, they're not respecting your cultural beliefs. If you mention that you're going to involve the New Zealand embassy and get support from them because you're being abused by the British system, they will probably crap themselves.
I had already tried to contact New Zealand Parliament and that on social media, but the thing is, because he's hacked my phone, I don't think any of my stuff gets out there. I think, like, I can't explain it, but it's sometimes like my likes disappear, sometimes like my comments vanish, you know, like weird things happen. And when I discovered that he had, you know, when I caught the hacking, when I actually managed to record the hacking, and, you know, the when my upload was going really slow, and then I mentioned, you know, about it going slow and blah blah blah, it suddenly like returned to normal and that. So I was like, if that's not proof that I'm being hacked, I don't know what is. As well as like hearing the person breathing in the radio, the TV going in the background, because my phone was moving in the background, it lit up, and I was nowhere near my phone, and I looked over, and it was like someone was scrolling through my phone and clicked on a conversation I was having with Gabriel. I was talking to Gabriel, but I had put the phone down because he'd like gone to the toilet or something, so I was waiting for him to respond, and my phone lit up, and I sort of looked over, and it was scrolling, and I could hear someone breathing and a TV going in the background, and it sounded like the person was speaking Spanish, which is why I think it was Martin, either Martin or Jose. It sounded like there was a kid or a toddler or an infant or something in the background though. So, and I know he's got a kid to someone else. So I just thought, well, it's Martin, and I put it up, sent it to the police. Like, I know they've gone through it and that. So, but yeah, so I know that he controls my social media, and I suspect that when I've tried to like hashtag people like the embassy and all of that, they're not getting them. But that's exactly what I was going to do. When I get that lawyer next Monday, I'm gonna, like, from A to Z. And then I'll say, can you please contact the New Zealand Embassy for me? Tell them that I've been trying to contact them, as well as the New Zealand Parliament, blah, 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 because we need to draw attention to this, because I said to PC Right, I'm going to ask the lawyer to get the media involved. So I can't wait for next Monday. And if I have done something illegal, I will hold my hands up to it. I will, you know, pay the price for it. I will serve my time. You know, if it stops me from getting into another country to rescue these kids, then I'll just take that as a sign from God. I'm meant to do it here or back home in New Zealand. because they go missing all over the world. So, you know, God will lead the way. God will light the path, and I will lead the way. So yeah, don't you worry about me. I'm titanium. Do you know what I say to myself when I need to pick me up? When they go to prison, most of them will be already used to the bum sex, so at least it won't hurt. Because I have it on record that I said about how when he used to lock us inside, he used to come back from, you know, like a couple of days away, and I'd have to wash his clothes, and there'd be sperm and fecal matter on the front and back of his boxes, and that's recorded, that's documented. And I'm going to bring all of this up in court. So when he goes to jail, he's not manly, like he's not masculine, he's effeminate. So he'll be the bitch. He will definitely be the bottom, which is where he likes it. And that gets me through another week. Tra la la la.